A lot of these guys, a lot of my clients say, I want a good haircut. I want to like going to get a haircut, but every time I go, I hate myself.
Yo, damn! And welcome back to another episode of Asian Not Asian Podcast, a podcast where two Asian guys not from Asia talk about American issues no American cares about. I'm your host, Fumi Abe.
And I'm Mike Nguyen.
Today is Sunday, October 10th, and we are reunited.
Hey!
Coming at you live from Canal Street Market and the Canal Street Radio listening party.
Is that still around?
Yes,
No,
that's
those are still around.
If
Okay.
any of those things are still around, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much.
having us.
Yeah, you came in on a red eye.
I came on a red eye to do this episode. That's right.
Damn, that's kind of baller and also kind of sad.
It's really sad. It's so sad. I mean, I'm fucking tired of shit. But today's an exciting episode, so I had to come through.
It is an exciting
I had
episode.
to come through, man.
It is. We're gonna be actually in the studio quite a bit this week because we're gonna
Yes.
record this, and then we have a whole day of recording.
Yeah.
Another day.
It's like podcast boot camp this week.
Dude, we got so much and then you got like a bunch of shows. We have Hack City this
We
week.
got Hack City this week. It's gonna be a busy
fucking
week.
crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
You're gonna do the social media.
Oh,
plug?
I'm sorry. Yes. If you're checking us out, on YouTube, please hit like, subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast app, please hit 5 stars and leave us a review. Tell us what you think because we love hearing from you guys. I read them all the time when I get sad. So please check that out. And then if you're listening to us on Spotify, hit follow so you are always up to date with the latest episode. And of course, tell all your friends.
Tell your friends. And before we start the show, we always give a shout out to our newest Patreon subscribers. What is Patreon? It is the best way to support this podcast. We are completely independent operation. We're not with any network. So we have this website where you can donate your money to us and you give us money, and in return you get cool shit like bonus episodes. We give you a shout out on the podcast and we sign into your DM. So if you're interested in that, please go to patreon.com/asian.asianpod and help us make this into our full-time thing. Okay, make us into Joe Rogan's. That's what we want.
Yes,
We just
I
want
want
to
to try
jiu-jitsu and elk meat for a living.
Yes, I was going to talk about elk meat. Yes,
can't
you
wait.
guys like elk meat?
Yeah,
Okay, I hope so.
There we go. Okay, the 4 new Patreon people this week. Darren Blake.
Darren Blake. This is like a British dude.
I think it's British.
I think it's a British dude.
I think Blake, like James Blake, the singer.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Well, cheerio, Darren Blake.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your money.
You're a British Asian. Next we have Vince Martellacci.
Martellacci.
Sounds like a flavor of fucking gelato or something.
This guy's from New
Vince.
Jersey. This guy is definitely. You know what's been crazy is that I've been doing shows, and sometimes now the people who come to see me are not Asian.
Yeah, dude.
A white guy. I think he listens to the show. I didn't catch your name. Seemed like a nice guy. It may have been. He looked like a Vince Martellacci.
Vince Martellacci has the vibe of like his family was in the mob, but like he has no power.
No,
You know
but
what I mean?
he got clean and he opened a carpet store.
Yes, and he doesn't want to touch that money.
He doesn't want to get into that.
money.
He saw how bad it was, and now he makes a very good living off of carpet. So
Yes.
go to Vince's Carpetorium
in New Jersey.
in
Jersey City.
in Jersey
It's
City.
a good time. Thank you for your money. Next we have Leslie Fong.
Leslie Fong.
That's Chinese. It's Chinese last
Chinese.
name. Then last but not least we have Yen Chiang, and we have to give a
Yen.
special shout out because this person gave us.
Wow,
That's up a year.
that is like
that's insane.
this guy invested in Bitcoin early.
He did.
That's why he has so much money.
So thank you. And Chiang, I think is
Chiang.
Chinese,
I'm gonna say Chinese.
but Yen is Yen a Chinese name?
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
think so.
Interesting.
It could be a number of things.
It's also the Japanese currency. I was confused. You know,
This guy is money.
this guy's. I mean, he's made.
He's made of money.
He's
He
just
literally just ripped some of himself off and gave himself some of it.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for donating. And if you want to get in on this game and have us guess your ethnicity based on your last name, please go to patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod. Today is a special episode, so we're not gonna do the thing where we ask each other what kind of Asian we were. Today, we are doing an episode about Asian hair. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a special Asian hair episode. And here's what I want to say beforehand. Okay, I feel like this podcast, the reason why people like this podcast is because I feel like it allows us. It's like a medium for us to talk about really specific Asian things in depth.
Super
that
specific.
We don't think so. So on this podcast, if you're a fan, we've covered rice cooker politics.
We did. That was very
We've covered the blonde
controversial.
Asian hair off the Myrtle Wyckoff stop theory.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But one area we have not covered yet is the trials and tribulations of having Asian hair.
This is I knew we were kind of onto something
Yeah.
because I can't remember exactly. We were talking to one of our guests about Asian hair, and I feel it's come up a few times.
It's come up a few times, yeah.
And then you put on our Instagram on the story just like, hey, we're gonna do an episode like this. Can we, what are some recommendations for people we could talk to? And we got so many fucking
That was
DMs
the most
about
engagement we've ever had. I
So
didn't know.
much.
I think we've been doing this podcast wrong. I think we need to just pivot into being
We're just
only
gonna talk about Asian hair from now on.
Because, I mean, the
It's so-
engagement was crazy.
It was so crazy. Like, we got so many recommendations. We got all these comments. People were like, "Oh my god, finally!" This is like one of those things that I know that black hair is a thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know that Asian hair is a thing.
Also a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. And I think for people who may not know what the hell we're talking about,
Yes.
just a quick thing.
So to Vince out there,
For the Vince Martellacci out there,
Martellacci.
if you're sitting in your carpet shop
and you're sitting in your carpet shop and you're listening to this podcast from these two Asian dudes and you're wondering what's the big deal.
Okay, here's a summary, okay, of what's happening. Most Asian people have thick ass hair, and I like to always describe it as like it doesn't. My barber always says it doesn't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? You want to do a certain thing, but you won't. It's like a bad kid. He won't listen to you. As opposed to like white people hair, I always describe it as like it's like cat's hair. You can do anything with it, and you can fix it very easily because it's very soft. And especially with Asian people, I know like for guys, our sides. Our hair like grows outwards, and it's very difficult to like style it if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that causes a lot of like frustration for a lot of young Asian American people who may not have access to like an Asian barber or Asian person who cuts their hair. I mean, Mike, I know you don't have hair now, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, we can get into it. And
we're going to.
The Asian hair. So I have wavy hair.
Yeah.
I'm Vietnamese. And then I have wavy hair. And for the longest time, I grew up in the 90s. So I always wanted, all the cool Asian kids in my school, in middle school, had like the Asian gangster bangs.
Gangster bangs.
Do we know what we're talking about?
Like
Do you guys?
Kill Bill? Did they do that? Gangster bangs.
Yes, I don't know if I've ever seen it in the mainstream media.
Okay, I just
I
just googled gangster bang, got a totally different.
Oh
Google
no,
result.
don't look at that. A lot of people stuck in a dryer there. No, it's like kind of like if you ever watched Better Luck Tomorrow, there's kind of that vibe there.
Okay.
But it was like it's very the hair is very straight. It like it's like highlighted a certain way. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And I could never do that because my hair just doesn't do that. And then it's a whole thing. But I had so much anxiety. I remember I used to have daydreams all the time as a kid. And I used to have two daydreams. One, I was a samurai. That was the first one. I was, you're a kid. You're like, oh, I'm such a bad.
Yeah.
The second thing, I always wished I had straight hair. Like I wished I had just good hair.
Yeah.
And the most popular kid in my school, his name's Ivan. He's a Chinese dude. And he had great hair. And I realized he was friends with me. So we hung out. And I realized one of the things, and this blew my mind. He blew dry his hair every day. He like would do that. So it would like be all like cool looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's on another level.
Right.
I can't possibly do this. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, I think this is like a deep-seated anxiety that a lot of... We're going to talk a lot about Asian guy hair because we've got people who are experts in that. But I know a lot of Asian women have also this is also a thing, and I think it's just like something that we don't talk about.
No, we don't talk about it. I mean,
normally.
I know like you mentioned, the black hair is a thing. If you
It's
say
a
black
thing.
hair, there's a lot of jokes about black hair. It's been made on TV,
Right.
stand up, but nobody is talking about Asian hair. Nobody's doing Asian hair jokes.
I feel there's very specific Asian hair jokes. There's there's like bowl cuts.
Yeah, there's bowl
Everybody
cuts.
has bowl cuts.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
perms, getting perms.
Yeah, yeah.
Perma, as Korean people love
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
perms. And I feel like those two things actually I think are very telling about how Asian people approach hair. Because it's like bowl cuts are really, it's so functional. It's like here's a bowl, we cut it, boom.
Yeah.
And then the perm is, I don't know what that's all about really, but like that's also a way of like dealing with hair, like giving you full
it's very
volume.
extreme.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's so tough, you have to go.
Yeah.
You have to, there's only like two options.
You got to like
know?
do all these things. So I feel
Yeah.
like, and then like, you think about it, like, has your dad, ever talked to you about, like, I think my dad had a game where he tried to find the cheapest place to get a haircut in the town
Right.
we
They
lived
don't.
in.
That's an excellent point because I do feel like black families maybe they do talk about black hair.
I think
You know,
I mean for sure barbershops are.
And they definitely go. I think from black people from a younger age know not to go to certain barber places,
Exactly.
or like they know to go to certain
Yeah,
places.
this is the
that
thing
can
you're
do-
gonna go
and there's
to.
different like jargon. You know, if,
Yeah,
if
they
you
just
listen
know how to deal
to
with it.
black women talk about like, because some people like wear wigs and shit, right?
Yeah.
And they get special braids and like there's all these like things that come with that. So 100%, there's definitely an Asian version of that, but no one's ever talked about it. And hey, you know us, we're trailblazers when it comes to
Yeah.
Asian jokes. So to help us answer some of these questions and concerns, we've invited people who cut Asian hair for a living. They work at a barbershop that's very popular in Chinatown in New York called PELL. And you may have seen their TikTok videos go viral on there. So check that out if you haven't already. So please welcome Tim Huey and Carl Lung, everybody. Woo!
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hey. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank
Of
you
course,
guys for having
pleasure.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Just real quick, man. Like, I mean, you heard us talk about it a little bit. Asian hair, you know, are these sort of, you know, we kind of briefly described like our issues with it and our sort of insecurities with it. Are these sort of relatable things to you guys as well?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've grown up with Asian hair. You know, I've went through all of the styles you can imagine.
Yeah.
The Goku, the
Goku. What's the Goku?
What's the Goku?
you know, where
blowout.
you have the bangs coming down here.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. You have the spiky hair with gel. With
Yeah,
gats.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Exactly. I've
Oh,
had
shit.
the highlighted tips.
Mm-hmm.
The Cisco, yes.
The mohawk, the faux hawk,
faux
that
hawk, that
Taeyang.
faux hawk,
Oh
I had
yes,
the faux hawk.
I
Taeyang
had
influence.
a pro hawk, yeah.
Yeah, so growing up, it was definitely difficult. I didn't have anybody to talk to. My mom was a stylist back then, so she was actually the one that was
Oh.
cutting my hair. Yeah,
That's cool.
Wait,
Yeah.
where did you grow up?
in Brooklyn.
Oh,
Brooklyn,
okay,
New York, yeah.
interesting. And what about you, Carl? Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Maine.
Are you
Maine?
serious?
Yeah.
You're from Maine?
Oh
Yes,
shit!
I'm from the suburbs.
Hell
You
yeah!
do not give me Maine
Maine
vibes
vibes,
in
no.
any way at all.
I did move here when I was 6, so
Okay.
you could say I'm a New York City kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think my journey with hair started. I mean, it was always my dad cutting my hair,
Yeah.
Right,
and
right.
it was your typical buzz cut.
Yep.
And he was a master of clipper over comb, and that's a technique that a lot of barbers use.
Oh, really?
For Asian hair specifically,
clipper over comb. So you
Yeah.
have the comb, and then you.
and then you use the clipper.
I
to
didn't know
apply
that was
against
an Asian specific thing. I have had that done to me.
I mean, they do it. It's a technique used across the board.
Yeah.
But it's very good for Asian hair because it creates shape.
Oh.
And because
Mm.
I mean, Tim can run us through all the technicals because this guy's the master.
Yeah.
But our hair grows 90-degree angle to our scalp,
Mm.
so perpendicular. And so that's why when you were talking about it earlier, how it grows outwards.
Yeah.
Caucasians don't have that problem because theirs grows at a degree down.
Yeah.
Oh.
So even as their hair gets longer, it just gets longer growing down.
Right.
But ours, we start to look like a chia pet.
Right.
Yes. Oh my god.
And
So-
so
yeah.
Triggering.
So the buzz cut thing was just like super easy because you just go clipper over comb, you just work it all the way around the head,
Yeah.
and then bam, you're done. But like as a kid, you're left with not that many options,
Right.
and our parents aren't really thinking about style for us.
Sure.
So it's
Right,
like
right,
what's
right.
quick, what's fast,
Yep.
and what can be done in the bathroom.
Yes.
And that's what you got.
Yes.
bathroom.
Where did your dad learn that technique then?
Oh,
Just-
so my dad, funny story is that he actually, when he got here from Hong Kong, he's from China, but like they went down to Hong Kong and he came down over here.
Yeah.
When he first got to New York, the first gig he picked up was being a barber.
Oh shit.
Now,
Yeah.
was he a barber in Hong Kong, or he was just like, I'll do
No.
fucking anything?
No, he'll do anything.
Oh,
and,
shit.
And then back then, when you first got to New York City, it was either you were doing in the laundry business,
Yeah.
or you were cutting hair, and those were like two really easy entry points to getting a job.
Yeah.
He has this crazy story. He was eating at this corned beef house on Pell Street, and he was just eating there with his brother and his sister, younger brother, younger sister.
Sure.
And somebody saw the way that he had blow dried his own hair,
Oh shit.
and then paid for his meal. And when he walked outside, said, "Hey, do you want to work at my shop?" And that's how he got his first job.
Dude, I'm telling you, the blow drying, bro.
Blow drying, there's
I'm
just
telling you
something
about the
about
blow
it.
drying, bro.
Goddamn,
Okay, I
true.
need to fucking get on that. I think that's so fucking interesting. I mean, we have so much to talk to you about, but very quickly, just like, how did you guys end up in this business of? Because like, I never would have thought that being a barber. First of all, too, I'm gonna say it. You both got Rolexes on. I talk.
Yo,
You got the Hulk
you
on.
looked immediately.
You got the Hulk on. All right. I think you got the sub. All right. Listen, I got a regular job. I don't got those things. And you guys are barbers. What did I do wrong? I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
Our parents taught us how to save very, very early.
So, I mean, yeah, how did you guys just, get into this sort of thing? Because I never would have imagined. First of all, I didn't know this was a thing. And then second, like, that there's a very specific market and skill for this.
I agree. Same.
Yeah.
It was a fluke for me. 100% fluke. I had no intention of getting into this hair business at all. So I was in college, didn't have a lot of money at the time, still to this day, But my mom was a cosmetologist, as I mentioned before. So she was cutting my hair. And one summer, she actually went over to China to visit her family. And so before that, one of my best friends at the time was also getting haircuts too from her. And so no one could cut his hair. He went out to get a random cut anywhere from Yelp.
Sure.
And he got the worst haircut of his life. He's like, yo, Tim, you got to do something about it. It's got to be in your blood. I went down in my basement, fixed him up, used 2 hours of my time, and it was okay.
Really?
And then the next time he came back, he brought a couple friends, and then that's how it started.
Whoa! It's like Fight Club.
Damn.
With fucking scissors and shit.
I love that.
Wild.
That's crazy.
I had no idea what I was doing, but I
You
guess I
hadn't
had
like trained or anything like that?
Nothing at all.
Yo, you straight up learned like fucking Splinter learned karate, bro.
Yeah, it was like just fucking Neo over here.
Just like learned it like through osmosis, dude. You're like Shang-Chi, okay?
It was a fluke for
You're
sure.
the chosen
That's
one.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, his friend was right. He has it in his blood.
Yeah, you do.
Really, really crazy.
Hey, how about you, Caro? How about you?
So I actually used to just cut my own hair in high school, and that it just started out of the fact that I was just frustrated waiting at the shop all the time.
Yeah.
What do you mean
And
waiting?
So like, I guess very traditionally, you would wait. You would walk in and sit down and wait.
Right.
Oh, you to make reservations.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then nowadays, like you're looking at 2021, everybody's making appointments now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you would just get to the shop, and if you were number 6 in line, you would know you're number 6, but like there was no queue system. There's no text you back system. You're sitting there all day.
Yeah, sitting there waiting.
Yeah, and in high school, I was very religious on getting my hair cut every week because I just didn't like the sides growing out.
Right.
I just wanted to keep it fresh. And I wore hats a lot of time, and I want the shape up to be clean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a regular thing for me to be at the shop, but then I realized, wow, like sometimes I would get to the shop on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and we'd get out of there at like 4:30, go home, shower, get outside again, and it would be like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And my whole Saturday was gone.
Right.
So after a while, I was like, you know what? It can't be that bad. So I tried to give myself a haircut. And the first haircut didn't turn out too well, but I was like, you know what? It definitely did beat spending 5 hours back and forth getting this haircut. So I did it more frequently, and that's how it started. I only was cutting myself, but I never imagined myself in the hair industry until I got a haircut from Tim.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta get a haircut from this
He
guy.
was so good that you're like, I want to make this my life. That's some samurai
That's
shit. You ever
crazy.
seen that Seven Samurai where like the guy fucking kills the guy and it's like, let me be your master? You know?
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
like that.
No,
That's like that.
It was crazy because I think the first haircut I ever got, right? I showed up to one of my friend's parties.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it was after I got a cut from Tim, and then my friend Karen, she noticed it right away. She's like, "Wow, that's a really nice haircut." And then like I always had clean haircut, it's like, but it wasn't like faded. And then she commented right away, and a lot of people started commenting that night, and I was like,
Wow, really?
Oh my
this
God.
is it. This is it. Like
I have never seen that happen. Like you're at a party and I'm just imagining you walking in slow-mo with like your fade. It's like you're tossing your hair back and forth, and it's like, oh my God, look at Carho.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh man, I got looks that night.
Yo,
And then-
Oh my
shit.
God.
And I was like, this feels great. And I was like, if we could do this bigger for everybody else, wouldn't this be really cool?
Wow. Well, clearly Carl had a threesome that night, and that's,
Clearly.
that's what happened. Well, okay. I want to start here with this whole thing. Thanks for sharing all that. We love it. We've kind of divided this into like 4 sections of the Asian hair experience because I want to hear from everybody. Obviously, Mike and I included. And I think the first thing about Asian hair is that, like you guys both mentioned, you grew up with it. When you're young, and that's other thing too. Is when I was a baby or like 5, before puberty, I had really straight hair.
Sure.
And it didn't occur to me that my hair was like different or weird or anything like that. But I think after puberty, your hair kind of changes. And there's a moment in your teen life where you notice that your hair is different and Asian hair is a thing. And I wanted to kind of like ask you guys about that moment when you're just like, oh, do I have something different than somebody else? For me, like, I grew up in Ohio, But it started way before that when I was in Japan, full of people who should have had the same hair that I do. But the guy cutting my hair, there's a word for people with my kind of hair in Japanese. We call it kusege, which means it's a hair with habit. Also means like curly hair kind of. And that word was very triggering to me because I have this other thing that's difficult to deal with as opposed to sort of straight hair. And then I moved to Ohio, with clearly no access to an Asian haircut person. So my mom cut my hair too. I was 18, and I always had a lot of anxiety getting a haircut. And even when I was in Japan, I'd go back every summer, and I didn't know how to order necessarily. And also, if you get your haircut in a foreign country, they give you the haircut that's popular in that country. And I was so afraid that they'd give me a Final Fantasy VII haircut, and I'm wasn't trying to look like Cloud,
right?
To go to
they're giving you the sword with the gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on your way out, they give you
here's a sword with the gun,
and there's a bike, and then you go. Damn fucking tight. So that was sort of my initial experience with it. I was probably 13 that's when I started becoming a little bit more aware and insecure about it. So I want to kind of pass it on to you guys to see when did you start realizing that your hair was different? And thanks for exposing your head, by the way.
You know
Mike.
what? I mean, I wanted to talk about. So I realized that I've never explicitly thought about it. I always just thought I just don't have good hair at all. I just can't do anything about it.
You thought you didn't have good hair?
Yeah, or whatever. Because every haircut I've ever had, every place I've ever gone to, I've never left the barbershop going, I look great. It's always, my hair's shorter.
Yes,
That's I remember one time, this was probably stupid, but I went to one of those places where it's like a haircutting school, right? And I was I'll go to one of these.
Bumble. They have one.
They have one of those. And it was it's supposed to be, it was like a Paul Mitchell school, right? So I was okay, these people should know. And this lady, she was like, I think it would look great if your hair was what she said, if you wore it up. And I was like, I'm not going to prom. What are you talking about? So she cut my hair, and then she made it stand up. I think she was trying to give me a flat top. And but my hair is not like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I had to look her in the eye and lie to her that I liked it, right?
Dude,
I was
I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
This is great. Yeah, and she looked so proud of herself. So I was like, this is terrible. And I remember I went right to the main mission was get my hair shorter, and that was accomplished.
Yeah.
So I just went to my car and just kind of combed it down or whatever. And I've realized that I started cutting my own hair and just buzzing my head, as you see now, maybe starting in 2007 or something like that. And I realized I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm so tired of being disappointed, or I literally don't know what to do with it. I don't think I'm going bald, but I have a very high forehead. So I just don't like how that looks either. So I'm just you know what? I'm just going to go Japanese monk. I'm just going to do that. And I've said this before. I deal with the problem by just getting rid of it. I can't have a haircut problem if I don't have hair. But bam. So that's sort of my own thing. I remember once I asked my friend, where should I get a haircut? And she sent me to a barber, a black barber shop. And I didn't know it was a black barbershop until I got there. And by that time, it was too late. So I was I didn't want to look like a racist. So I was I sat down, and the guy clearly cared. He was doing his thing. He didn't treat me any weirder. But he asked me if I wanted all edged out. And I didn't know what he meant. And I was like, sure. I have no idea. And then, but he gave me this whole thing. I look like Drake. I was it was
yeah.
I look like a fucking, straight up Dominican. I was yo, this is crazy. I actually kind of liked it. It was too intense for me. But at least he cared. And I was this guy cares. And I feel he maybe didn't get, I didn't feel this is going to be what I want to do. But it was the first time I felt that somebody is not just treating me as a number and just cutting my hair shorter. But that's sort of the thing. And now I just keep cutting my hair really short, A, because it's cheaper and easier for me to do, and B, I still actually, if I went to one of you guys, I'm actually embarrassed that I would go and say I don't know what to do. I feel like I would cry.
Yeah, do you guys get that a lot, or people come in, young Asian guys who come in and their hair looks like a microphone and they're I don't know what to do?
It's funny that you say microphone. I just had another client, a client recently that legit
I got that
looked
from your
like
TikTok,
this.
actually.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, like people, everybody, like a lot of Asians have this problem about nobody of nobody talking about their hair.
Yeah.
And nobody really understanding how it grows and what hairstyles work with that hair type.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And so a lot of my clients growing up in the basement, I was cutting hair in the basement, a lot of them told me, yo, I really like the fades from the Latino and the black barbershops, but they don't really know how to do the top, so I actually had to go to do two different shops.
Two different
Whoa!
shops?
Two different shops. It's crazy to me. I'm
That's
like, whoa.
crazy.
So I made it a goal to actually, not perfect, but like consistently do well in both aspects, right? The sides and the top. And so I think that's where what makes us different, right? We understand how hair grows on the sides, right? And then we also do various hairstyles that work with the growth pattern and the hair type, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And including, right, the conversation you have with the client is very, very important as well.
Yeah.
Just like dropping that knowledge, educating them how to style, right?
Right.
But it also comes with the lifestyle too. Like if your lifestyle is wake up and go, I'm not gonna give you something spiky, right?
Right.
I'm gonna give you something that works for
Ooh,
you, right?
I didn't even
I didn't even think about
lifestyle.
that
I didn't even think
lifestyle.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. How do you deal with that when your clients ask you?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that understanding two aspects, we break it down to the fade and the shape. And that's something that's very popular because like we are kind of more on the urban side of barbering.
Yeah.
So we do like a lot of fades in the shop. We can also do the gentleman longer sides, but longer sides for guys actually has to go through a period of growth.
Okay.
So you like longer sides means like maybe at least 3-4 inches.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, off from the scalp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because other than that, it would stick out.
It's
Yeah.
gonna stick out.
So it would have to be a certain length for us to comb back.
Yeah.
So what's lower maintenance generally sometimes is either really grown out hair where you slick it all back, or short hair where you come back every 2 weeks.
Dude.
2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my
so-
God, this is so
Yeah.
triggering because in high school,
Yeah.
again, I went to school in Ohio, all white kids, and so my white friends would get a haircut like once every like 3 or 4 months or something,
Right.
Yeah.
and I needed it once a month,
Yeah.
but I was so embarrassed that I was not in the same sort of growth pattern as them, and so I would lie about getting a haircut.
Wow.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? I was just like
Yeah.
so embarrassed. And even today, I will get a haircut, but in 2 weeks my sides look weird. So I'll take my like razor and I'll use that like little sticky thing,
Yeah.
and I like shape the sides just
Yeah.
so I can last 2 more weeks until I can get
Right,
another
right,
thing.
right.
Is that a common thing? Is this me? 'Cause
I know.
I feel like I
know.
have to do
You
that.
used to get your haircut
Yeah.
every week or whatever you
Yeah,
said.
every week.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah,
every
yeah.
week for myself. So if I was not cutting the sides 1 week, I was getting a shape up the other week.
Yes.
Or a tape up. And the tape up is just like along the sideburns in the back of the neck. And it just keeps things super clean.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a
Yeah.
preference. But like, I totally understand what you guys are saying because we actually even have sometimes some clients that come and then they shape up their sides themselves, but they can't do the back because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can't see it.
Yeah.
And so then they'll come back and then we'll know that they've done it. And they're like, yeah, I shaped myself up a little bit. And we're like, yeah, it's all good, you know?
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah,
we
yeah.
understand, like, there's no shaming, I think, in our space because we've been through all those problems ourselves before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yes.
think that there should be anybody that walks in here that feels uneasy because at the end of the day, we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Damn.
that's a great point because like you keep describing yourself as having bad hair.
I
And
always
I
think
want to help you get over that because I've also hated my hair,
I've
but
always
I
hated
feel
it.
like in the last couple years I've learned to just kind of like it, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably because all my friends are losing hair and I'm just like thankful. But
Yeah,
but also like I hated it, but I feel like it's because I didn't know how to style it or tell the barber what to do with it.
Right.
And I feel like, yeah, I think there's a lot of Asian people out there who are like, I hate my hair. And
Yeah.
I don't think they have to. I don't think anyone has hateful hair. If that
right.
makes sense. You know?
I feel that one thing I was looking at your TikToks and I feel one thing you guys do. I've learned this from. I see you have a lot of tattoos. I always feel like when you get tattooed, you may have an idea in your mind of what you want, but the tattooer is the one who's going to really guide you into what this is going to look good on your arm. Because if you come to them and you got a bunch of stuff, like they know what works on a body, right? And they know how to do it. And I feel like I've not really encountered too many. You're putting so much trust in the barber, right? You know, and I've seen your TikToks. You say, oh, you have a face like this, and to your point, you got a lifestyle like this, and therefore you need this. And I feel like, that would take a lot of anxiety out of it because I've always hated. You know how sometimes they say, oh, if you want a haircut, you got to print out what you want and bring it in. And I'm like, I cannot go inside of a barbershop with a picture of Brad Pitt and be like, hey, could you make me look like Brad Pitt? Yeah, it's not going to work. And
Why do people do that though?
I
Asians do that too.
Huh?
They do that
Brad
too.
Pitt?
Really?
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
they're jealous of their
Yes.
hair, right?
Yes.
But they're not jealous of their hair. I think they're more jealous of their face.
Ah.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
you know, like, I mean, you know, if a client goes in there, so, you know, sort of like, what's the process of, I don't even know, like talking them off the edge of the cliff, you know, like how do you kind of get them to relax and understand?
Yeah.
And I guess, like, if I were to go into a place,
Sure.
what is the questions I should be asking? Do you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
should be asking.
or yeah, like how
Yeah.
do I communicate with my person who's going to cut my hair so I can get the best experience?
Oh wow. Okay, cool. I mean, I think the first question you should ask is what would work with my face shape
Okay.
and hair type.
Yeah.
If they cannot answer those questions, you should leave right away.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Just because different hair types, different face structures and growth patterns, right? You know the spiral in the back of your head.
Yes.
Sometimes some hairstyles don't work with that, right?
Oh, really?
So you have to
Is that called a cowlick?
exactly
Yes.
the spiral.
Yeah.
It causes cowlicks,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
right? So if you have a cowlick back there, you probably don't want something too long, right? Or you don't want it too short, right? So I think that for clients out there, people out there that are watching, I think if you are uneasy about the barber that you're going to, I think maybe reach out to him on Instagram first.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
Start a consultation.
Whoa, slide into those
Whoa.
DMs, bro.
Slide into
I like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like it. Send
And
them a dick pic.
if the vibe is not there, maybe try someone else.
Oh shit, the vibe's got to be there.
vibe.
Damn, it's like Grinder in
I
here,
swear
man.
to God, Asian people in 2021 got us so good, Mike. It's like
Really
I mean,
do.
I'm sharing stories about lying about how often I get my hair cut. People are like sliding the DMs,
Yeah,
sending nudes with cool hair. And
You
shit.
think I had a vibe going on with Debbie from Supercuts? Oh, hell no.
Supercuts.
Supercuts, bro.
Bro, I went
man.
there in fucking 2009. I was 19 years old, just moved to New York City, right? And my mom wasn't around to cut my hair, obviously. I went into Supercuts because I feel among men, this is changing, but among men, not just Asian guys, there's this weird misconception that you should only spend $20 on a haircut.
Yes.
And if you spend any more than that, you're like a weirdo for caring about your hair or whatever. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to a Supercuts because I wanted to go to a Japanese person, but I looked at the prices and they're like up to around $50, which is totally normal. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing a lot. $50 is worth an hour of your time. So I go to Supercuts and it was like not an Asian guy, and he was like, speaking of shaming, he like couldn't get over it. He thought my hair was like so dry because the way it was growing and stuff, and he destroyed my hair. And then he lathered a bunch of conditioner on my hair, and he was like, yeah, just keep that on for like a couple days or something. And I literally left with conditioner on my hair, and I was like, this is the most humiliating experience I've ever had, you know? It was like raining, so it was getting all like bubbly and shit, you know what I mean? And then one of our, speaking of shaming, one of our fans sent in this thing. This is crazy. I don't know what you guys feel about this. I forgot her name, but I will leave that out. She said, I went to a slightly fancy hairdresser in a department store in southern England as a ethnically Chinese European mixed race child around 9 years old in the early 90s. I have the same hair as my mom, thick and straight. And when the hairdresser started to cut my hair, she felt it sounded funny. And every member of the staff gathered around to hear the sound of my hair being cut because it was so thick and Asian, I guess. That's the kind of shit we're dealing with, man.
Yeah,
in
dude.
the 90s, dude.
People just, that was in the 90s, and now it's all about the hair vibes,
The vibes.
as we know.
The vibes. Tushy, the modern bidet company, washes away even the messiest of poopies, leaving you with a better clean than toilet paper.
Is your butt clean enough to sit on the couch naked? No.
What?
Whoa. Whoa.
What kind of question is that?
That is intense. You don't sleep and sit on your couch naked? I do all the time. So if it's not, can get a Tushy, the modern bidet that attaches directly to your toilet in under 10 minutes.
If you got poop on any other part of your body, would you just wipe it off, right? No, you'd wash it. Stop wiping it and start washing with Tushy, the modern bidet that attaches directly to your toilet.
Yo, Tushy is so good. It's been so hot and sticky, and you know what? If you know what swamp butt is in New York City,
Woo!
yo, the bidet, this Tushy will take care of that. Just sit on there, splish splash, you're all fresh, baby.
That's so nice because the alternative is to just like stand awkwardly in your office and shove a piece of toilet paper up there and like let it absorb, and then you're just like, if anyone saw me do this, I'd get fired immediately. So
Yeah,
I would prefer
yeah.
a nice refreshing water on my butt.
Right, there you go. Tushy is the modern bidet for people who poop. Just poop, wash, and pat dry.
It washes your bum with water for a better clean than toilet paper. Washing with water is less irritating and more soothing for your bee-hole, if you didn't know that already.
Tushy has a full product line to help make the restroom the best room, including a Tushy ottoman and a Tushy brush.
They got a Tushy ottoman?
Yeah, baby.
That's so much. There's a lot going on. Start washing with a Tushy bidet for a better clean. Go to hellotushy.com/ANA to get 10% off plus free shipping.
This is a special offer for our listeners at hellotushy.com/ANA for 10% off.
After you buy and install your Tushy, show it off. Tag us at hellotushy on Instagram and let your friends know what's going on with your butt.
I do have a question as far as, this, have you seen an evolution, I guess, as far as like how people approach? Because I think a lot of guys for a long time is just like, I just need the cheapest haircut I get because it's all bad, right? But have you started to see? I think younger generation, younger people are going to be cool with like, oh, I don't mind spending more for a good barber to cut my hair and stuff like that. Are you seeing like a trend in that way? Are you seeing different people come in and accept like that there's certain you need to pay for a certain thing in order to to have
absolutely.
a good standard?
Yeah, and just to go back and echo the part about the vibes, right?
Yeah.
I think the vibe check is huge now.
What?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
The vibe check.
I didn't even know.
Shit, what
Is
the
that
fuck?
on the menu?
What the hell?
Vibe check.
Oh my god!
$5.
Oh shit! Wait, did we just become a complex podcast? Oh my god! You said
Yeah.
vibe check? I've
Yeah,
never heard
yeah.
that. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's serious. I think traditionally barbershops have always been a place of community, right?
Yeah.
It's a place where you get your news, where you just like just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And then you can just talk to other people in the space about whatever's going on.
Yo.
So it's like a guy's way of detoxing outside of
Oh my God.
the home and everything else.
Great analogy.
My God.
So I think that women have always done this, right?
Yeah.
But for guys, it was the barbershop. So when you talk about spaces like Supercuts or like places that are just chop shops,
Yeah.
Chop.
Yeah.
offering less of the vibes and things like that, right now there's much more appeal to be part of this community.
Yeah.
So I think that with that being said, everybody started to elevate their game in terms of what they offer and who they offer it to.
Oh.
And it speaks to different audiences. So like you've got the real gentleman shops, the whiskey, shoe shines, things like that. Allen Edmonds, they've been doing that for a while. Like those places, like they're popular for a lot of the corporate guys.
Sure.
But now that streetwear and the urban scene has blown up like crazy, now you're looking at a new generation of Gen Zs and younger millennials that are really into urban streetwear.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the fades and the places that cater to that. And so I think when we designed our space, we were looking at what do we like?
Right.
What do we love? What does our community love?
Right.
And it was easy because we're just serving ourselves.
Yeah.
And everybody that kind of identified with that vibe, so we'll play like lo-fi music during the day and
Oh
a
man,
little
so
bit
mellow.
Okay.
Yes.
a little bit of hip hop at night. And so it's like people come in and they could feel like, not only do they feel like this is the stuff that they like, that they're getting a good haircut, they're surrounded by the people that also are like them.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Are you finding that you guys end up being like therapists for these people sometimes?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
man.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
Asian barbershop culture? What,
Yeah,
what
what
are
is
we
that?
talking about?
What are we
gossiping
talking about? You know,
I
what
love
are we
gossip.
talking
Spill
about?
the tea.
Talking about what are we talking
Yeah, I'm
about?
talking like,
Yeah.
Well, I think we're very. I think what's been really cool recently that we've started to really own is that we have some pretty cool clientele that come into our store.
Shit.
Okay.
Because we've been coined, and since the beginning we were always kind of afraid to say that, hey, we're an Asian barbershop because we can cut all types of hair.
Right.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
there's not the clippers don't discriminate, right?
Yeah.
So, but like because of where we are, naturally we get a lot of the Asian American
Sure.
audience.
Yeah.
We're in Chinatown, most of us are Asian, and so we just get that demographic that comes in.
Yeah.
But recently I started to really realize like, wow, we're getting some really cool motherfuckers in here.
Yeah.
And like the thing is that
Can we drop names?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can we say?
Can we say names?
I
Little
mean,
some?
last week I was able to cut Bernie, the creative director from.
I thought you were gonna say Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders?
I was like,
It's all about the vibe.
I was like, is that
Socialism vibe. That's tight.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Nah, but yeah. I mean, we got like homies like Mark LaShark. Like, I'm talking about young creatives.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times when I was growing up, this resonates a lot with our audience, but it goes back to our origin stories, right? A lot of us, our parents wanted us to be something white collar, something professional, something licensed, right? And definitely not licensed barber.
Right. Not different kind of license. Yeah, for sure.
So that was the route that we were always encouraged to go towards. And taking any other route was more like being like the black sheep of the family.
For sure.
And especially the fact that we were into urban wear, got tattoos, everything like that. Being the barber wasn't the most ideal in terms of like how the family would see you.
Right.
And so doing this was very bold for us because we were kind of like breaking that barrier. But when we started to attract a lot of the creatives that were doing really dope things in the scene, and especially through a lot of the AAPI conversations that were happening since May, right? We started to realize that we're actually attracting a lot of these cool creatives that come into our space. And we started to build like this little powerhouse for Asian Americans.
Damn.
And like we're having these conversations and we're actually able to inspire the younger kids who come in here and like, to be honest, I was like, yo, what do you guys want to do? I want to be an engineer. And they're like, why? Oh, my parents want me to.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you want to do?
Oh shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
And so like those are the type of conversations when you say like, what is the gossip, right? It's not really gossip. It's like, yo, what's the word? Like, what do you want to do? And like, I think that we're able to not only inspire, but connect our own community with each other.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
shit.
real value of our shop.
I'll tell you, if I was young and I met you two and your whole, as you guys have said, vibe, I'd be like, I want to be more like these guys. I want to be like my, dorky doctor cousins. Those guys have no vibe at all.
I love that. You guys were like unlicensed guidance counselors.
This is
That's
great.
amazing.
Yes,
That's really great. What was your SAT
Therapist,
score?
guidance counselor.
I got to go and check out the space.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm sensing comedy show. I'm sensing comedy show.
For sure.
There's a comedy show in a barbershop that our friend Ronnie runs, but
but it's not an Asian one.
it's not an Asian one. This could be a cool one.
Can I ask you this? Because I've seen this happen in person a couple of times. What do you do when you cut someone's hair and they don't like it?
Oh yeah.
And they're not nice boys like me and Mike who are gonna be like, oh thanks, and then fix it later. But they like, do they freak out? And if they do, what do you do in response to that?
Well, the first thing you make sure you do is that you say that you're somebody else. If you like this experience, my name is Tim. And you exit and get out of there as soon as possible.
Exactly.
I think that it's inevitable that like you just can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it in the past, but we've learned from that, and I think that's why we spend so much time on the consultation to make sure that this does not happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if it does happen, like we're free, we're I mean, I'm down to give you a free haircut. Like
if you hate it that much.
if you really hate it,
Yeah.
I'm down to just
Yeah.
enjoy.
My barber always told me that if they don't like it, it's because they don't know how to order. They don't know how to tell you.
Right. I think there
And
could've
that's
been-
a real thing. Yeah.
There could have been some miscommunication between the barber and the client, right?
Right.
And I think that what we strive to do is to have clear communication on both ends, right? So that nothing goes wrong for the end result.
And that's why the picture reference is key, right? So
Picture,
Yeah.
video,
even as much as we describe it through words,
Yeah.
we always confirm, be like, oh, this is what it looks like. Is this
Yeah.
something similar that you would want? And then sometimes, let's just say they bring in a picture that's not realistic, right? Let's just say
Picture bad
some
fit.
Asian guy comes in and wants a fro.
Yeah.
And then we look at that and
just
be
like ludicrous.
What if?
Yeah.
What if a guy? Yeah. Okay. Then what happens?
Then we have an intervention. We have all the barbers.
His mom is there.
Yeah. We take out the nice Jordans. Yeah. We're just like, come on, in the name of Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, because like like a lot of people come like from different shops, and all the terminology might not be clear. So that's why we like try to educate our clients too about all of the terminology, the correct terminology, and what it looks like, right? So that they know, even if they don't decide to come back to us, they can talk about it on their next visit somewhere else.
Whoa. Are you seeing any like new kind of crazy hair? I guess like I was talking to Fumi about this. Have you guys seen Squid Game? Have you guys watched that show?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think, but that the
main
character
guy.
the guy who wins, he gets like a crazy haircut.
Well, he
And
dyes it red.
it's like super red. It's
Yeah.
it's like it's really intense, and I feel like culturally I'm missing something because I feel like this makes sense in Korea. It doesn't.
We
make
didn't
sense.
get it.
Yeah, we're like in America, we're like, what's going on here? Why does he
Yeah.
have such intense hair now? I think it was supposed to be something for the character, but are you seeing anything like you know, I know, for example, Gen Z kids love the middle part, man. They're loving the middle part. Are you seeing stuff like that? And are like, do you guys have to kind of evolve in order to meet that? Or is that like something that's not in you're not seeing that as much because of who your clients are or what?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think that within the past few years, I think K-pop has been blowing up like crazy, and I think that a lot of Asian Americans are seeing that influence and asking us for these
that kind of
middle
haircut.
parts or like 60/40s and
Actually, it's
whatnot, and a
not,
lot of
not
perms.
even just Asian Americans. You got
Oh,
a lot of-
really?
yo,
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
Squid
Timothée
Games.
Chalamet has the.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Squid Games, the K-pop Nation movement. I
Yeah.
think all of that really brought in a lot of heavy Asian influence for hair.
Yeah.
And you're looking at a lot of different ethnicities walking in here and be like, yo, they pull up a K-pop picture.
Yo,
And then, like, yo, I
I
want
love
this.
that. I
Dang.
fucking
And
love
then,
that.
And then we were actually having this conversation a couple of nights ago where we were all chilling and we were like, yo, Squid Games, this K-pop movement really put on for Asians, because now
Yeah.
you got a lot of people pulling up pictures of Asian guys now, and you're talking about other ethnicities.
Yeah.
And then I think 2 weeks ago we had somebody who's Mexican, really long, grew out his hair. He had straight hair though.
Yeah.
And he grew it out, and he was like, he wanted this wavy, textured, 2-block haircut. And he came in, he tried to do a walk-in, and we didn't have any appointments available for him. And so I wanted to pair him up with a styling session. So we were gonna do something special for him, because I thought that was really cool. You know, he has like, yo, I really want this. I really want to try that. I grew out my hair for like a year and a half.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and like, so he was really invested, and we wanted to get him right. So I set him up with one of our guys, and we taught him how to use the iron so that he could get it in that wavy texture without having to get a perm. So he could try it out, see if that's something that he really liked, and that's something that he may want to consider getting a perm for. But like, seeing that sort of influence, that Asian influence, especially for aesthetics, that people are asking for, is dope. Because like, when has the Asian guy become like
The cool one.
the cool one?
Absolutely.
And now you're looking at like Squid Games and all this stuff. It's probably a lot of girls out there be like, yo, I want an Asian boyfriend.
Yo, this kind of brings up the whole thing about I always feel we always play that game at the beginning of the show where we guess someone's ethnicity based on their name, and I think in real life, I actually think it's difficult to say, oh, this person's Japanese, this person's Chinese, this person's Korean. The main giveaway for me, besides their outfit, usually is their haircut.
Yeah.
Like Korean dudes, they got that kind of like with the bangs and stuff. I don't even know how to describe it. You know what I'm
Waves,
saying?
yeah.
And I'm just like, that's a Korean guy. That guy is
Yeah.
named, fucking Gene Young right there. Right? Like, I'm looking at him, and I can always tell. And I feel like Japanese dudes got a different haircut. Chinese dudes, like Asian Americans, have a certain kind of, because we're kind of like a little bit more street. I always feel
absolutely.
it's just like anime, man. You can tell the characters apart by their haircut.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
always
yeah.
feel.
Speaking of middle part, do you feel like, so this is like a question we got from a fan. I think it's a fantastic question because Mike and I don't really know how to answer it. This guy was saying, he said, I've been getting fade/buzz cuts my whole life. What's the best way to explore a new cut or hairstyle? I have the Asian hair issue. It's thin and grows strangely, it feels like. Asian hair is real, though it doesn't make sense, and that's why I just cut the fade. And that's a great point, because like, it took me a long time to figure out like what I like and how I like to order. But now with everything changing, like sometimes I get out of the shower and I try the middle part, but I don't think I can do it with my hair. I don't think you can do it either. I don't know. Is that like, for an Asian guy who just figured out their hair, what would you say to somebody who comes in and says like, hey, obviously my hair grows like this. It looks good when I, tighten the sides and grow the top, but I want to try something new. How would you go about talking to somebody like that?
Well, it takes a lot of patience, for one, just because you kind of want to grow it out a little bit just to see how it sits and lays on your head.
Yeah.
If you're coming from short hair.
If you're coming from short hair,
for sure.
okay.
But if you do have long hair and it doesn't work, then it's probably not for you.
And so I think a lot of the times when we get questions from our fans, people who DM us, like, oh my God, it's actually pretty insane. We do get over like 100 DMs a day.
Oh shit!
Oh my God.
And then it's like, it's really tough. Like in the beginning, we were like very ambitious, and we're like, yo, let's answer all of these. Let's go one by one. And then after a while, we just had to pick and choose and just like randomly go for some.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of the times having these conversations, we actually need to, see pictures of them. We need to see what their hair looks like currently. And we actually designed a whole service, a consultation for that, because we realized that a lot of people are looking for that tailored style.
Yeah.
And so like,
Right.
they want to know if it could possibly work for them. And
Right.
so we give them all the advice possible before they decide to invest. And when we say invest, it could be like time in terms of like how long it takes for their hair to grow out. It could also be money, because like you might need to get a perm in order to get that look, and you may or may not want to spend $200. And sometimes we look at the condition of the hair, and maybe they're coming out of previously processing their hair for dye, things like that. It may not be a good idea for them to reperm their hair, or put it through more chemical processing. So I think that the consultation is a super tailored process where we actually sit down and we just talk about the hair, and we implement that with the haircut.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about, because I feel we talk about blonde Asians up in here a lot.
Yes, blonde Asians.
We have a whole episode, I think, about it, and I feel that for women especially, we're seeing a lot of like blonde hair, pink hair. Young me, who friend of the pod, she has different hair every single time I see her. Are you seeing a lot of guys doing that yet? Are you seeing a lot of like different haircut, like colors and stuff that people are playing around with that? Is that something you're starting to see?
Because we were saying, like, if you can't change the shape of your hair, do you
Maybe
just
change the color? Yeah.
No, it's true, because like if you actually do process it and dye it, the hair texture actually changes.
Oh shit.
Oh, really?
It thickens it up and it makes it.
It's more thick?
It's thickens up for sure.
Oh, wow.
Also with a perm, it looks a lot thicker.
Oh, wow.
That's why I would recommend, if you're thinning a little bit, if you make it wavy, it'll look fuller and you'll have volume.
Yeah, it'll give it that appearance.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mike.
Yo, I'm gonna get blonde hair, baby.
Takes a lot of patience.
I'm gonna look like that guy from Rush Hour.
Which guy?
Yeah.
The main bad guy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Love,
this
love.
is great.
This
I
is
feel so. I just feel like warm and fuzzy. You guys have made
this is
vibe
amazing.
check. Vibe check
Vibe
inside
check.
of the studio right now.
Really like it.
We need more. We need more like rare sneakers on the wall. I think that's the big thing.
You know what? I have to pee so bad. I'll be right
cool.
back.
So you just buzz your own hair.
I just buzz my own
But
hair.
but would it make you curious to go in for the experience of it though?
I am actually wildly curious.
Yeah.
And I thought when we first booked you,
Yeah.
I thought about. I was like, okay, I'm gonna maybe if I don't cut my hair this whole time.
Yeah.
We actually had a plan to see if you would cut one of our hair right away, right here.
Yeah.
Right, like right now.
That'd be
But
hilarious.
we couldn't line up the things. And
Damn.
was that?
That would have been
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it would have been fun. And then
Tim would have been down. He just did a haircut in the street yesterday.
did he?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like one of our clients hit up Tim and said it's an emergency.
What?
And then the shop chairs were booked out, and so Tim pulled up, and we have footage of him cutting right in front of the store.
So you'll do like house calls, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's a space for me, I have a cape, I have my tools, like, there's nothing that can stop me.
I'm really curious. I am very self-conscious about my hair
Sure.
because, again, like I don't think I'm thinning, but like I don't think it's very thick anymore, and just how it is. So do you even think like that's possible? Like I can go in and you guys can help me?
You know what's funny? So that's the reason why I asked you is because we have guys that are thinning.
Yeah.
Like who don't even have much hair come in with almost a full haircut and still come in. And I think that they come in because for them it's like coming in to be with the guys.
Yeah.
And like just chill, kick it, and then like having that conversation with his barber, aka the therapist, coach, mentor, everything. So it's like
it's like more than the haircut itself, really.
Yeah. So it's just like having that time to come in and just be like, yo, this is me time.
Yo, that's kind of fire.
And I think that like the difference with us is we actually will give you a game plan and give you some knowledge on what could help the hair loss or the thinning. Like we'll give you.
So we
like,
could have
tips.
we could have those conversations.
These guys are
maybe.
selling me so hard. Listen through this. Listen through this when you're editing. Listen through this again because it's like fire. And
It's a salesman right here, bro.
We'll just make sure. But like,
See you next week.
they're telling me about like coming in and the whole thing, and I was like, I was being real vulnerable about and then Tim was also telling us about he like did a haircut. He had an emergency haircut that he had to do, and he gave a guy a haircut on the street.
Why? What
That was yesterday.
Was he getting married or something?
No, I
Yeah, he
mean,
was just going out.
yeah.
It's his type of emergency.
Yeah.
He has to look good for a party.
Okay.
And I mean that that's a funny thing. It's that this is the one pet peeve that I've always had. When guys go out, I don't understand why they wouldn't get a haircut.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's like why even go out at all if you're not gonna look fresh? And
Ooh,
and
yeah.
like it's like, yo, you could pay for a girlish drink at the bar, but you can't pay a little bit more to get your own haircut. I
Right.
think the haircut would give you a better chance than buying her a drink.
As we know from your party thing,
Yes,
people
yes.
note, hey man, that fade is
Yo,
sick, dude.
yeah, for real. It's like that's one thing I never understood. So back in the days when I used to stand in line waiting for the club, and the dude in front of me just had his hair growing, I was like, wow, is he really going out tonight? Yo, you should save that $20 and put it at a haircut.
Damn, I have a crazy story, man. So I was drunk one time, man, and then I had this new client. The protocol is, how did you hear about us?
Oh, yep.
He said, yo, bro, you came up to me in the club and said, yo, bro, you need a haircut. I was like, no way. The whole barbershop heard it. I was embarrassed for myself.
That's so funny.
But at least, my head was in the right place,
No, I mean, I get
It's
that.
just
Yeah.
always
When Mike
marketing.
and I get drunk, we used to pass out Asian Not Asian podcast stickers to people.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like, "Let's do a
yeah.
podcast."
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Comedy.
No
Here
shit.
you go.
Yeah.
Never worked.
100%.
Do you have any other like crazy like I had to like go to fucking some dude's yacht or some shit to do any
crazy
any,
haircut
any
stories, man.
other crazy haircut stories like that? Because I hear you as far as too. One of the things that always bothers me is when I do see. Usually it's a younger guy, like a real young guy, like a college student who like isn't thinking about it. But he's just like real shaggy. I'm just like, how are you even comfortable walking around? Because it's like so uncomfortable sometimes when your hair is like, and that weird length in between where it's like long but not like too long, and you're. I don't know. I always feel like at the very least. It's almost like you're walking around with like really long nails. You're just like it like looks gross.
Sometimes it's not their fault,
Yeah.
Because like a lot of these guys, if they're walking around like that, a lot of my clients say, I want a good haircut. I want to like going to get a haircut,
Right.
but every time I go, I hate myself.
Yo, damn!
You know?
shit.
So it's
Oh,
like
shit.
it's like if you actually enjoy getting your haircut, they probably wouldn't be walking around like that.
Yeah,
Right.
dang, you're right, man.
And then they don't have the confidence to go inside because every time it's like rolling the dice.
Yes,
It's like
that's
and-
exactly
and-
that's
and-
exactly
so
how I
real.
feel.
And so they
That's
walk
so real.
inside. It's like, oh, how do you want it? And then the pressure's on them to say something that they
Right.
don't know.
Right.
So it's like, just a little bit shorter on the sides and a little bit shorter on top, and then shorter for one barber and the other barber is different every time.
Yeah.
And then so like
1
or
inch
maybe-
means 4.
Yeah.
Right.
And then so it's like that whole experience. They walk out of here, they go, oh no. And then
Yes.
so that makes them afraid of the barbershop.
A lot of people are traumatized from their
Oh
previous
my
experiences,
God, that's so fucking real.
Yo, no
man.
wonder everybody's fucking DMing us, dude.
I know.
We're getting into some
Everybody's
trauma. This is some
traumatized.
trauma
This is
shit.
trauma. Dude, this is a show, Asian hair therapy, dude. We do therapy while they're getting a haircut.
I told you that. First of all, that's a fire ass idea. But second, I was telling them that like one of the plans was that one of us would get a haircut from you guys while we were here.
While we were doing this.
While we were doing
That
the
was
thing.
the plan.
So if I go in there,
Yeah.
if I go into your shop, which I mean, I'm very interested in going, and at the very least, because you guys seem like nice people. So like it would be cool. Should I go in there and like have not cut my hair for a long time and like go in there, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
there.
yeah. I mean, I think that you would definitely be more set up for a haircut if you didn't cut your hair.
Good point. Good point. I
The
just
thing
realized
is,
that.
you have hair.
I do.
I always forget. Like, you're not balding.
No.
You have hair.
I do have hair.
Just grow it out.
Okay.
Let's try this.
Okay.
You're around. You own a business in New York. Yeah. I'll be back
All right.
again in Don't cut your hair for a month.
A month.
I'll be back for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So
this would be crazy. We
we'll
can
s-
see a transformation.
and we'll do a video thing.
Yeah.
We'll rent their space out. Everybody gets
Okay.
paid.
We'll all get paid. We got the money. We got the money. I'm already so anxious. I'm so anxious already.
Oh God, guys! If you want
Um,
to see this, go to patreon.com. It's not Asian Pod. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Thank you guys so much for coming in. This was an amazing conversations. Where can our listeners find you and your work and perhaps your barbershop?
Yeah, so you can find us on TikTok, on Instagram at 12PELL, 12PELL. And Pell Street's actually a street in Chinatown. Not a lot of people know that, so people always hit us up. Where are you guys located? 12PELL.
Yeah, it's actual address. That's
Yeah.
a fire ass street. It's a
Yeah.
really cool street. It's like very cinematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, and you can also follow us on all the social media platforms at Asian Not Asian Pod. I'm also on there at the Fumi Abe. That's TheFumiAbe.
You can find me on Instagram at Nice Pants Bro.
Please come to our next stand-up comedy show. November 23rd is our next Hack City comedy show at Union Hall. Is it
No,
7th?
it's at Caveat.
I'm so sorry. November 23rd at Caveat. That's on the Lower East Side. That should be
Lower
more
East Side.
convenient for most of our fans. So please come out. It's like 7 or 8-ish. If you want tickets, go to our website, asian.asianpod.com, or
7 p.m.
7 p.m. and just go to the bio link on our Instagram. You'll find
Yeah.
us there. And I think that's it.
I think that is it.
This was truly an incredible conversation. I'm so glad we did this, and I feel we need to do a follow-up.
Please, like, DM us. Let us know what you think about it. Tell us your stories. Because it feels like, I mean, it sounds like every single guy has been traumatized. By fucking haircuts.
Really? I mean, you couldn't even really talk about it until like 50
very
minutes
nervous.
in.
That's why I put my hat back on. I'm going to put another hat on after this. And now we got to worry about this thing in a month. Oh, my God. I hope my wife doesn't divorce me.
Yeah, go out there. You know, getting a haircut doesn't have to be traumatizing. Go get your vibe check, okay?
Yes.
And if you're in New York, please go check out 12 PELL and get your haircut by Tim or Carhol. Thank you guys so much again. And Anals, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.